This month's tip of the month is something called the rule of thirds. And the rule of thirds is an idea that originally came from photography. And the rule goes something like this. Essentially, the idea is that when it comes to a design project, your screen or your print piece can be divided into thirds, vertically and horizontally. And what you have is an intersecting point at these vertical and horizontal cross sections, and that forms the perfect location for the weight of an item you want people to look at. It becomes a cross piece where something that you want them to see visually can be, or some text that you want them to call attention to. So let me show you a little bit of how it might work conceptually, and then I'll show you a few examples. These examples are going to be applied to slides like you would put on sermon slides or announcements, but the same principles apply also to your print. So what you would do, you'll notice I've shaded some of these sections red. You could weight an image to the left side, the left 2/3, and put some information in one of the crosshairs. You could weight it to the right 2/3 and put information or an image in the crosshairs. You could weight it to the bottom 2/3, the top 2/3, the upper left-hand corner, the upper right-hand corner, the lower right-hand corner, the lower left-hand corner. Essentially, the idea is just that you could put the weight of an item into one of these thirds quadrants and an intersection. So here's a little piece of how you could actually apply it visually and not just talk about concepts. Here I've got a slide for a mother-daughter dessert, and notice that on the right-hand side I have weighted the image that represents the event in those 2/3 on the right-hand side, and I have put at the crosshairs in the top the line of information that I'd like to focus people's attention on: mother-daughter dessert. And then below that, of course, is the details. Here's another example with a baptism class. You'll notice that my visual image goes across the bottom 1/3 of the piece, and where the crosshairs meet across the top, notice I've put baptism class. What this does is reinforce this is the most important thing I want you to see, and also gives you balance in your piece. Here's another example taken from a men's conference. Notice on the left 1/3 I have put my image of the man with the backpack, and where the crosshairs are in the upper right hand corner I've put the title of the event, and then where the crosshairs are below I've put the secondary line of information. Once again, this concept of the rule of thirds is actually very simple, but what it does is bring balance and clarity to the information and the visuals that you want to represent. This is Ryan Holk with Rad Ideas. I hope you found this to be a helpful little tip of the month. Until next time, blessings.